Alright everybody, it's The Way Life Is, back with another video, and today I just want to talk about thought interference. This is a theory that I've been coming up with for quite some time, and I've been studying it internally, and I think it's one of my most profound, theories that I've come up with so far. Basically, the point of it is that not all your thoughts are yours, and there's interference with other people's thoughts that happens on a day-to-day basis, and it may influence the way that you think or feel. Just something I've been noticing inside myself. I'm having a thought, and I'm like, well, where does this thought come from? And I try to locate where this thought came from internally. And what I start to realize is this thought didn't come from me internally at all. And it actually came from an external place in the world. And I can trace certain thoughts colliding in my mind back to different people in my life. And when you have this thought interference process happening, you can also start to notice that these other people who your thoughts are interfering with have their own internal process that may be interfering with your thoughts, may be influencing them in a certain way. So it's a very interesting idea to think about, but it also takes a lot of pressure off of you having certain thoughts, like weird thoughts you wouldn't usually think, because you realize that this is a collective consciousness, and not all of my thoughts are coming from myself. They're coming from the world and other people as well. Obviously, there are going to be some thoughts that come internally, but for the most part, everything that you're taking in or everything you're thinking, some of it is going to be from other people or other things. So it's just something that I've learned over time, is that, not all my thoughts are mine. And that's a very comforting feeling to have, because it makes me not think so critically about the thoughts that I do have. And it's just very refreshing to know that. But it's also very hard when you have some thoughts interfering with other people's thoughts, because you're like, I don't want this clash to be happening. And then you just have to examine, well, what is my relationship like with this other person? Is it chaotic or is it positive? Because there are going to be some positive thought interferences, but some of it's going to be very negative and very detrimental to your well-being. So you really have to think about it in that way, and just realize that there's going to be good and bad parts to it. But like I said, this is a collective consciousness, so there's always thoughts going back and forth and bouncing off between people. So you'll never really know what exactly is happening inside of you. But you have to just have a good internal process to sifting through thoughts and figuring out what's yours, what isn't yours, and which thoughts to hold on to, and which thoughts you shouldn't put as much weight into. But I don't know, I think it's very interesting just to think about. And I know that this could even happen with feelings too, like certain feelings you're having, whether it's happiness, sadness, confusion. There's a lot of interference with other people or other things as well. And you can't really control all these things. You can't control how you're gonna interact with these things, but you can control, okay, how do I respond to having all this interference? How do I sift through all this stuff and make it so that it doesn't impact my life in a negative way? So yeah, it's gonna be a quick little video, thought interference. I'll probably have more ideas and thoughts about it later, like down the line, but it's just something I want to get off my chest and something I've been thinking about. So, yeah, that's really all I got today, but I appreciate y'all.